Okay, today we're going to be working on some trigonometric identities, specifically the double angle formulas. So let's say we were given this problem that I've already written here. How would we do this? Well, let's first start by writing down our double angle formulas. So sine of 2 theta equals 2 sine theta cosine theta. All right, now cosine of 2 theta equals cosine squared theta minus sine squared theta. And tangent of 2 theta equals sine, sine of 2 theta over cosine of 2 theta. Now, cosine of 2 theta and tangent of 2 theta, we can actually write that using different identities, but for today we're going to stick with these, okay? So let's start with our problem. How can we find sine of theta? Well, first of all, our triangle, as we look at it, is not complete. So we can either see that these numbers are Pythagorean triple, or we can just use a squared plus b squared, our trusty old Pythagorean theorem, equals c squared. So if we do that, we will find that the hypotenuse equals 5. So let's start with sine of theta. So we'll write down SOHCAHTOA, also another trusty thing to know. SOHCAHTOA says that sine is the opposite over the hypotenuse. So that is going to be 3 over 5. The side opposite our theta is 3 and the hypotenuse is 5. So let's write that answer up here. So that is 3 over 5. Let's go with B. B says cosine of theta. SOHCAHTOA says that it's adjacent over hypotenuse, so the side adjacent to theta is 4, hypotenuse is 5. So that would be 4 over 5. Now, before we move on to C, I just realized it didn't ask us for tangent. So let's do tangent. Okay, so let's do tangent of theta. So what is tangent of theta? According to SOHCAHTOA, that's what? Opposite over adjacent. So that would be 3 over 4. So we'll just write that up here. Tangent of theta is 3 over 4. I typically like to find all three, sine, cosine, and tangent, just so that we have it in case we're going to need it in the future. And we will. All right, so let's delete that for now. Let's move on to C. So C says the cosine squared 2 theta, cosine of 2 theta. So we need our double angle identity. So what is cosine of 2 theta? Looking at our formulas there, cosine of, let's try that again. Cosine squared theta minus sine squared theta. Okay, and what is the cosine? Well, we found that out in section B of this problem. So that is 4 over 5 squared minus 3, which is sine theta. Sine is theta is 3 over 5. 3 over 5 squared. What does that equal? That's 16 over 25 minus 9 over 25. 16 minus 9 is 7. So our answer is 7 over 25. All right, so we're going to write that up here, 7 over 25. Okay, moving on. Let's move on to our next sections. Letter D. Let's go back to white. Color white here. All right, so letter D asks us to find sine of 2 theta. What does our double angle formula say? 2 sine theta cosine theta. Well, what is sine theta? 3 over 5. What is cosine theta? 4 over 5. Turn this into a fraction. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 4 is 24. So that's 24 for our numerator. Our denominator, 1 times 5 times 5 is 25. So sine of 2 theta is 24 over 25. 24 over 25. Okay, hopefully so far so good. Let's move on to our next problem. Alrighty, so that is E. What is tangent of 2 theta? That's going to be sine of 2 theta over cosine of 2 theta. Well, again, what is the sine of 2 theta? Well, look at letter D, 24 over 25. That's going to be over divided by cosine of 2 theta, which is what? 7 over 25. How do we do that? Well, that's keep, change, flip for dividing fractions. So keep this first fraction, change the division into multiplication, and flip the denominator, so that's 25 over 7. These 25s cancel, so I'm left with 24 over 7. So tangent of 2 theta equals 24 over 7. Okay, sorry, little tickle in my throat, but the show must go on. Okay, so let's keep going. I keep doing that. Okay, let's delete that. Okay, moving on to our next part of this problem, which would be section F. Section F asks for the secant of 2 theta. Well, secant is just the reciprocal of what? Of cosine. Cosine of 2 theta. You always think that the secant would go with the sine with the 2 s's, right? But it's just the opposite. So secant goes with cosine, okay? So I always say the s goes with the c goes with the s. So it helps me remember. So secant of 2 theta equals 1 over cosine of 2 theta. So what is the cosine of 2 theta? Go back to c. Cosine of 2 theta is 7 over 25. So what is the reciprocal? 25 over 7. Okay, so we will write that answer up here. So 25 over 7. Okay, let's move on. All right, our next problem asks for the cosecant. Cosecant of 2 theta. So cosecant, remember the c goes with the s. Cosecant goes with sine. So cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. What is our sine of 2 theta? Look at part D of this problem. Excuse me, sine is 24 over 25. So the reciprocal would be what? 25 over 24. And that is our answer for cosecant. 25 over 24. Okay. And last but not least, moving on to H, cotangent of 2 theta. What is that? The reciprocal of tangent of 2 theta. What is tangent of 2 theta? Look at letter E. 24 over 7 was tangent, so reciprocal would be 7 over 24. And that is our answer for our final part of this problem. Okay. Sorry about the frog in my throat today, but hopefully, despite that, you're able to understand the problem, and we'll do more in the future. All right, thanks. See ya next time. Bye.